So many skilled people are just waiting to be noticed, but being good at what you do is not enough if nobody knows to put your name forward. I'm talking to you. Tired of marketing advice that sounds nothing like you? Good, let's fix that. Produced on Wadawurrung land. And yes, I am talking to you. So, we are going to be talking about advocating for yourself is your personal brand. And I want to thank specifically Maddie during a disco conversation we had recently where she asked the question, how do I get people to think of me when opportunities come up, even if I'm not known yet? And that's mainly what we talked about in a disco chat. And we've proceeded to have a golden hour reset. So I look forward to chatting with you then, Maddie. So with today's podcast, I wanted to mainly focus on, you may feel like a lot of people, and especially my women and non-binary folks who are listening or watching today, in your life, instinctively, societally, patriarchally, you have been taught to champion everyone else and stay quiet about your own needs. And even if you are someone who maybe wasn't raised like this, you definitely feel the pressures. And maybe for the men in our audience or who are listening, feel free to comment and let your feelings known on this respect as well. That conditioning does run deep. And I even explore that a lot in my own work in the personal branding space that I do, because your personal brand is not about you, it's about your audience. Championing them, championing, all that stuff. But I do my best to kind of focus in on, and when that conditioning runs deep, especially for people that I chat with, it doesn't really show up the way that you think it would. It does show up as hesitation, as overgiving, rude problem of mine, and assuming people already know what you bring to the table. Because you're there, you've been there, you have wisdom, you have experience, you've talked to people, you've chatted, but you still put them first to the point where they don't know. When we realistically think about it, would that be the case? And if I'm talking malarkey, feel free to comment and let me know if I'm doing the same. The reframe that I'd like you to take on this journey with me is think of your self-advocacy, advocating for yourself, as doing it on behalf of people who are depending on you. This can be your staff, your clients, your friends, your family, your community. Your self-advocacy means that they will thrive. Your self-advocacy will mean that they will succeed. If that's what you're struggling with and that's where you currently are sitting, that is a good reframe to put in and sit in, to be honest, because it is a small shift. It is a small shift mentally, but it can be enough to get you across the line and allow you to take action on something that you have probably been avoiding for a very long time. And I'm not talking to people who are like, Zoe, I've been following you for a while, I'm focusing on my personal brand, I'm doing my hardest. It can still show up when you are actively putting yourself out there. It can take a lot of effort to do that, because advocating for yourself is not a one-off event. It is a habit. It is a practice. It is something that you build into the way that you move through your work, through your networks, through your brand, through your business. And it's annoying because it's a lot easier to focus on someone else, point to someone else, or highlight someone else and what they've achieved. This can show up in always asking, never assuming people know what you want or what you do or what your goals are. Never assume that they know that you're available, that you're interested, that you are the right fit. And that has been annoying to realize for myself. I have been, say for example, a good example of this is I have been in the Geelong Wadawurrung business community for my entire life. I was born here and I, at time of recording, continue to live here. And I put so much of my energy, time and effort into my Geelong networks. And I got nothing. I repeatedly got nothing. I highlighted, I pushed, never expecting anything in return. And that's honestly how it should be done when you are putting in this work. But I never self-advocated for myself. And I always put my hand up for the sake of other people, but I never advocated for myself. And now I have taken a break from pushing or doing work with my personal brand in my local communities just because I need a break. I need a win. And the climate of Geelong business can be a very cliquey and fraught one. And if you have ever grown up in a regional town, be it in Australia or anywhere else in the world, you know that feeling. Now, are we a country town? No. Do we have the feeling of one and the attitude of one? Hell yes. And that's why I needed to expand. That's why I needed to push beyond. I needed to put in that energy and effort. I needed to self-advocate for myself on a larger scale, not because my audience wasn't there, but because I needed people who were going to take action. And people in my local community weren't going to take action, at least not in the tactics and the way that I was doing it. And that is perfectly fine. I'm totally aware that a lot of the work that I was doing, I wasn't doing things the right way. But I was doing the action. I was doing the work. And I was not putting myself forward. And for you, putting yourself forward can be simple, can be easy. It can be things like asking to be put on an email list for an event, mentioning that you love to be connected to someone, pitching yourself, raising your hand consistently for offers, not saying yes all the time, but saying yes to offers that align with your goals, clearly and realistically align with your goals. You have capacity to do them. And at the moment, as we are recording this, I am actively pitching myself to people who are programs managers or people who work in HR or work in employee benefits. I want to run seminars and workshops to help people grow and start their personal brands and utilize the thing that they already have in their toolkit. But to do that, I need to advocate for myself. I need to raise my hand. I need to put myself forward. I need to see opportunities and go for them. It doesn't matter if it doesn't work out. Just go for it, because I need to advocate for myself to get things done. And for you, getting into the right rooms is not just about being loud.
Pausing your podcast experience to let you know I'm on LinkedIn. Follow me for business tips, video hacks, and a little bit of sass right here on LinkedIn. Wait, we're not here yet. Follow me on LinkedIn and you come join. Come join.
It is about networking with intention, following people up. That was the wrong hand gesture to make there. Following people up with intention and making sure that the community and the network that you have around you know exactly who you are and what you do, and more importantly, who you serve. Word of mouth is the most important method and the most easiest way to market yourself. And that's not something we can control, which is great, which people love. Your personal brand is your reputation. It is something that you can control, and it works ahead of you. It is the welcome wagon that opens the doors before you even knock. But it's not a magic wand. And while you're building and growing this personal brand, you still need to show up. You need to ask. You need to put yourself forward and do so consistently, making it a habit. Personally, I make it a habit of 30 minutes a day at minimum. I advocate for myself. I pitch myself to people who are, struggling with the things that I help them with. Or I offer them free resources. I provide the support to the people that need it. And yes, that may be going a little bit against what I said before earlier on the episode. But that is something that I'm helpful with, and it is putting myself out there. It is advocating for myself and doing so consistently. Because the best way to be referred, the best way to see growth in your personal brand, to make a difference to the people who you are here to serve, is to make it easier for people to refer you, to advocate for yourself, to remind people, because we are very forgetful creatures. And in advocating for yourself, you need to get clear on who you help, why it matters, and repeating that message over and over again to real people. And those real people have networks. But you need to advocate for yourself. You need to do it. You need to step out there. And your self-advocacy and your personal brand are not separate things because they work together. Because your personal brand is your big umbrella, and self-advocacy is one of the little tasks under yourself that is slowly going to grow bigger. Because when you see people who are maybe role models of yours, celebrity personal brands, yes, they have teams. Yes, they have support and communities that they have fostered over years and usually decades, be it with a little bit of help, monetarily speaking. But the fact is that they had intention. And they used their systems and their processes to back up what they were saying. And they used their self-advocacy to get themselves in the room. Now, I'm not saying that patriarchy, misogyny, and homophobia and all those things don't exist. Oh, muggle, they definitely do. But you have communities of like-minded people that can help you, remind you to advocate for yourself, but to allow you to keep going. Because you're good at the work that you do, but that it's not the same as being known for it. Your self-advocacy is a skill and a practice that you need to become a habit, but it starts when you don't assume that people know what's going on. Preparing others to refer to you is just as important as putting up the hand yourself. And your personal brand is your reputation that precedes you, and it opens doors for you. But you need to put in the work, and that work is self-advocacy. Because visibility without intention is just noise. And pairing your activities and your habits with building your personal brand with real action and real systems is something that you can do, because I believe in you. I believe you can do it. And if it takes you booking in a disco chat with me, that's like a free 30-minute chat with me, I am willing to help you take those steps. I'm willing to give you really clear, simple actions, and you don't have to pay me for it. Because I'm here to serve you. I want to help you grow your personal brand. Be your own be your own brand ambassador. Be the advocate that you were born to be. Advocate for yourself. And the next things that I want you to line up in the podcasting app if you are listening, or line up on YouTube if you're watching us there, make sure to line up episodes 87 and 78. We've got Brag Better, Brand Smarter. This is going more into where the shame can crop up from, advocating for yourself, but giving you tools that make you feel smarter and more confident in the work that you do. And episode 78, Stop Feeling Like a Pest. This is where a lot of the cringiness and minding of that mind set when it comes to feeling like, I don't want to reach out, but I don't want to annoy them. You do not feel like a pest if you have the right intentions and values in mind. Remember, from here, I want you to take the opportunity to think of 2 people in your network right now who could open a door for you, and I want you to take that step. Feel free to blame me. Feel free to check out the episode about blaming me to actually get stuff done. I don't care. You can call me a bitch. I want you to think about those 2 people. I want you to message them today. I don't want you to think about it. Message them right now. It can be a simple message. It doesn't have to be a full-on proposal. It can just be a genuine, I'd love to be on top of mind whenever you hear about X. I know you've got this going on. I want to be involved. Advocate for yourself, because your personal brand is worth it. And you and your community and your staff and your friends and your family are waiting for you to take that action. Thank you for joining me on this episode. Next week, we'll have a whole new topic to discuss around the podcast. But like I said, I want you to advocate for yourself. And if that means reaching out to me, then do so. I'm here for you. Did you grab your next personal branding action? Make sure to check out the show notes, the links, and the resources in the first link in the description. And while you're there, check out the second link for something that might be exactly what you're looking for. If this episode has helped you in any way, the best thing you can do is leave a quick review on your podcast catcher of choice. It genuinely helps so much more than you could ever imagine. This podcast was produced on Wadawurrung land. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land. See you next week. Show up, be seen, get booked.